Now it's time to power up with BT and Sal.
All right, here we go, BT. We are ranking our Rocky movies, including the Creed movies, 1 through 5. I'll start us off, let's start with 1.
Okay.
And go through 5.
Let's do it.
Number 1
so you
for
go
me.
1, then I go 1, then you go 2,
Yes.
or we just go to, all right,
yes.
okay.
I think we should do that. Yeah, I think we should volley back and forth.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm very curious what you have, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go, I guess, chalk here. And I've done this list many different times, but right now where I'm at, Rocky, the original, number 1.
You are.
I have the original as number 1.
What's the reasoning?
I just feel like that's I have a hard time putting anything else over that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, could I say that I liked certain ones maybe more than that at certain times? Sure. But I think overall that's the best one. The story, the build-up, even though it was a little bit slow at times, I get it. But that's the original. That's the OG.
Yeah.
The story of him at least getting to that point and fighting and proving himself even in the loss there. I still think, I have to put the original number 1.
It's gritty. It's raw. It's not even on my list.
What?
It's not. And it's funny.
It's not a top 5?
It's not on my top 5. And I will say this, though, about the original Rocky. Like, the character development was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, you obviously connected to Rocky, but you connected to Talia Shire. You connected to Paulie with his drunken ways and just down on his luck. Like, you really, Mickey, like, you got it, but not on my list. I'm going to go with Rocky 3 here. I know, it's the exact opposite. First of all, the music was insane. Now, kids don't have to do this anymore, and they haven't for a long time. I would sit by the radio. Well, let me take a half a step back. There was nothing more disappointing than getting in my parents' car, putting on probably Z100 or one of those stations back in the day, and hearing Eye of the Tiger ending. Because you couldn't rewind it.
Right.
Like, forget about Michael Jackson's Thriller or any other song that you want to hear. When you heard Rocky come on the radio station, my God. So I love the music. It started to really mesh the pop culture with Hulk Hogan, Mickey's death, which was a massive turn, and the alignment with his adversary of Apollo, just staples of the story.
Had I known that was going to be your answer for 1, obviously I knew my own answer, then I would have gone 5 through 1, because I think that's going to be the most dramatic decision right there. The fact that you don't have Rocky, you don't have my first one on your top 5, and I don't have your first one on my top 5.
How about that?
How about that, Mike? I don't want to say hated Rocky 3. I thought it was stupid.
Loved it. What was stupid?
The Hogan thing, the Thunderlips thing was stupid and unnecessary. Clubber Lang, like, okay, yeah, Mr. T is going to beat Rocky.
Like a badass,
dude. Mickey dies. I get it. Like, that's an okay part of the movie. I didn't like going back to L.A. and trying to get Rocky to win. Yeah, I didn't like that, or not going back to, but going to L.A.
to train with Apollo style.
Like, I don't mind the bond with Apollo. Gosh. That's fine. And then giving him the rematch. Okay, yeah, all that, fine. But I just thought, I didn't like the Clubber Lang stuff. I didn't like the storyline myself. Yeah. And in comparison to the other ones, like, this is not just to dump on Rocky 3. I'm assuming the same thing for you. Like, you like the original Rocky,
for
but
sure.
We're ranking 5, which means you got to take some out. Rocky 3 for me is out.
Interesting start.
Number 2.
Yep.
Rocky Balboa is number 2 on my list. I can't get enough of it. This is the one Rocky movie that brings me to tears when I watch it. That one speech in particular, it's the greatest scene.
Oh, with the son?
Yeah, he's talking to his son about it's not how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Take hits and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. So that gets me all the time. I actually went and bought because I watched it and I was so in love with it. I have shirts with that stuff on it. I was going to say, am I wearing one today? But I bought one for my office, like a poster, not a poster, but like a canvas print of that saying, Rocky's by the statue, Rocky's on the steps.
Wow.
And then it has that saying.
Did you frame it or just like
It's not framed. It's like a canvas thing. I have it unframed.
I know what you like. I know what you mean. So it's got a little wooden base to the back of it.
Because of that and the story of like the sadness where this is the first movie that Adrian's passed on.
Yeah.
Talking with his son, talking about still having that monster in the cage there.
Opens the restaurant. You feel sorry for him. They just wanted to hear the old story.
Oh, yeah, Little Marie.
Yeah.
Spider-Rico there. So people can dismiss that movie. I love it. It really could be my number 1, but he's number 2 on my list, Rocky Balboa.
Okay, listen, I liked it. I pretty much liked all of them. Not on my list here.
Wow.
No, number 2 is Rocky 4. And to me, it's funny. Listen, it's too easy to talk about the hatred and the Cold War and our relationship with the USSR at that point. The training montage. I still say, Alexa, play Rocky music.
Right.
And I'm hoping that now you get a bunch of different ones, right? But when those come up, oh my God, it's incredible. And then Apollo dies.
I know.
It's incredibly moving. It's funny, as you were talking about how you don't like Rocky 3.
Yeah.
Now, part of the aura of Rocky 4 was just the seemingly impenetrable force that Ivan Drago was.
Right.
But in a weird way, I almost felt that Clubber Lang, like in real time watching these movies, trying to go back there, I felt like Clubber was not more of a threat. That sounds ridiculous for a movie, but almost more unbeatable. Like remember when Clubber's training, like, and he's wearing like the blue Nike shirt, and he's in the gym, and he's grunting, and you know he's from Chicago, and he's starving for a piece of meat.
Mickey saying he's hungry. He was what Rocky used to be.
Correct. Like so I know I'm kind of intertwining the ones, but the specimen that Ivan Drago was, and then when she comes to Russia to meet him, and they and he's going out and they go out in the snow and they have a nice husband-wife moment. I just can watch Rocky 4 all day. Like, there's certain ones I do get a little bored with Rocky. Some of the ones, all right, if I'm busy, I might flip. Rocky 3, Rocky 4, the music, the other reason, I never changed the channel.
I wonder if it's because you saw them real time growing up, where I was a little bit too old, certainly for Rocky 3.
You didn't see Rocky growing up in real time, and that's your number one?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe you have a different appreciation for 3.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because you saw it, like that enhances the experience of 3. Whereas
maybe.
Rocky,
could be unknowingly possible.
All right, so number 3, I have Rocky 2. I mean, it's similar to Rocky 1, but this time he actually wins it, and there's the build up there, and I like that. Ultimately prevailing as the champion, beating Creed. So, just for me, the fact that he actually wins it and does accomplish the ultimate goal and get it done proves his worth. I put Rocky 2 on that list. Now, over the years, I've probably fluctuated where that one ranks.
So have I.
But on this particular list, I have that at number 3.
I have it as number 3 as well. Rocky 2. Okay. So finally, a little mirror here. To me, and I don't love, listen, this is all relative because I love them all, but you obviously love Rocky, the original, more than I do.
Yes.
But to have him if he's got to win to punctuate that character development and the journey that he was on, and you get that in Rocky 2, and when she's in the coma, he's just, and this is probably, hope we don't encounter this, but like the relatability of your wife being, you don't know if she's going to make it.
Right.
Becomes a dad for the first time.
Win.
Come here. And you're like, what? Win. And then like, what are we waiting for?
Yeah, the music kicks in. Oh, yeah.
What are we waiting for? And it was a little bit of everything. So Rocky 2 was number 3 for me.
All right, so we agree there. I'm going to go 4. I have Rocky 4 for a lot of the reasons that you said. First of all, I love the music. We talked about it, No Easy Way Out. Mm-hmm. The dispute between Rocky's wife, where she doesn't want him to fight. He wants to fight. Obviously, what happens with Apollo. Drago, to me, feeling like the impossible. He just killed a guy in a ring. He looks like this impossible beast, this machine. And then Drago, of course, saying this guy's like a piece of steel.
Yep.
And then telling Rocky, he's human. Going to Russia, growing the beard out, the training.
I like the beard. It's good look with the beard,
the whole thing. But I think the storyline of trying to beat the big bad impossible monster to beat, and to have Rocky do that, and also set up the downfall, or not the downfall, but the injuries that Rocky suffered and all that took place afterward. I think Rocky 4 you have to have on that list. And for me, I think you could argue I can maybe have it a little bit higher, maybe have it at 3. You have it at 2.
Sure.
But for me, I have it at number 4.
Well, listen, the scene when he touches the door of the Lamborghini and the music starts, that's when you start getting the bass and it starts having going through the tunnel. We all love the music and the montage of all the Rockies up to that point, But to me, really one of the more poignant scenes of any of the Rockies was when his own wife didn't think he could win.
Yes.
I mean, think about this. His longtime trainer is dead. His best friend is dead. Who in the world, nobody in the media, who in the world really thought that Rocky could pull that off? And I don't even know if Rocky thought he could. But his wife straight up told him, you can't win.
And he was willing to die in the ring. To go honor his friend and prove a point.
When's the fight?
Yeah, ready to go.
It's in Russia. All right, so number 4 for me is Creed. And it was an interesting balance, and they pulled it off spectacularly. Like, it wasn't a Rocky movie. It was an inside look at Adonis Creed with Rocky happening to be there along for the ride. And that's a dangerous juggle. Now, of course, the movie's entitled Creed, so you know it wouldn't be all about Rocky, but that's a balance from a cinematic point of view and storytelling perspective. If they didn't crush that, the movie could have been abysmal and laughed at forever, and I thought they nailed it.
I agree with you. It is number 5 on my list.
Okay.
I love it. I think it's a fantastic movie. You could argue it could be higher. Hard to knock off the original Rockies. Hard to crack that top 5. Creed does it for me for all the stories you mentioned. Rocky not really wanting to work with them, but, young Adonis working his way up. I love the whole storyline. I have Creed rounding out my top 5. What is your number 5?
Well, for me, and I get mocked, and the court of public opinion is never favorable here, I loved Rocky V.
Yeah.
I did. Rocky V is the first Rocky where he's no longer a fighter, except when he gets pulled into the street fight, and then he gets back to his roots, which is full circle. Even the priest, Rocky, throwing the blessings from underneath the train tracks. It's a little corny. I get that. It is, but to me, it showed the how money had really infiltrated sport. You've got the what was his name?
Not Tommy Gunn.
No, not Tommy.
The promoter.
Yeah, what was the promoter's name? Why am I forgetting his name? Jeez.
I just watched it.
Anyway,
Duke.
Duke. Good call, Duke.
I was going to say Union Kane, but that was the fighter.
That was the fighter. Yeah. No, Duke to me. Yeah, he just brought it to a more realistic, more timely level with the cars and the money and the women and intervening between relationships. And, you could tell Tommy Gunn was torn. Like, he really loved Rocky and respected Rocky. And Tommy, when he first met him outside the gym, when he's got his little duffel bag, hey, will you train me? That was Rocky 40 years, but 30 years before that, he just didn't have the heart that Rocky had, as his wife told Rocky. So, and I love the music, and the street fight was great. I love Rocky V.
I enjoyed it too, but I would have even Creed 2 ranked over that. Creed 2 was when Drago comes back into the picture. His son fights Adonis. I love that storyline as well. And then Rocky V up there, I would have it in front of Rocky 3. But so we're kind of similar outside of our top, because you didn't have Rocky Balboa on there. So wait, which ones did you have?
I didn't have Rocky.
You had Rocky 5 and you had Rocky 3 in your top 5. Yep. I had Rocky the original and Rocky Balboa instead of those two movies.
Hey, bottom line, a lot of love for Rocky.
Yeah, let's get a call on a BT. I know we get the Game 4 of the Pull Your Car World Series coming up. Jason is in Brooklyn talking about Rocky. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Jay.
Hey, boys. BT, you also could add into Rocky 3 the tremendous performance by Talia Shire on the beach, where it all comes full circle. Rocky's kind of like half in to fighting.
Because I'm afraid, all right?
Yeah, I thought that was cheesy.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
That's the first real vulnerability that he shows.
I know.
That's good.
Well, because he's got something to lose for a change.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's got a white. Yeah, for sure. That's a good call, Jay.
And Sal, she's vested, and it's complete. If she's not on board, it doesn't mean anything to him. It's great.
That's a good call.
All right. I got 3 quick trivia questions for you guys since you're talking the whole series.
Go ahead.
And by the way,
got to make it quick.
Go F yourself to the Academy for not giving Stallone an Academy Award for an Oscar for Creed. Mm-hmm. He created the modern day David versus Goliath.
Right.
Yep.
It's too bad. Okay.
Go, Jay.
What is in Rocky 4? What's the license plate read when Rocky goes for the greatest driving?
Yeah.
Southpaw.
Yeah, I was looking at how it's spelled.
Very
Good
good.
poll, BT.
Next.
Yeah, good.
What are the two? What are the names of his 2 turtles?
Cuff and Link.
Yeah, look at BT.
Next.
Tierney looking like Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
And then 3, where does Rocky's very first fight take place? What's the venue?
The CYO gym, like the old Catholic church.
There you go, BT.
You know what I'm saying.
Take the rest of the week off.
Thank
See
you,
you, Sally boy.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
going to Turks.
Now, if you could only do that with the baseball card.
Well, I did it last time. I'm up 2-1.
2
Take it
games
easy,
to
big
1.
boy.
An important Game 4 is coming up when we come back. We'll continue with the calls on the Yankees and their lineup. And the latest from Tampa, as Brian Cashman spoke today, he'll out 3 months, stand nowhere close to resuming baseball activities. Lineup has been a conversation, and the Rocky stuff. We'll continue with your calls on that. 888-808-1019.